This is a full review of the Toyota Supra. Let's go! LED is standard, and then you also have the LED daytime running lights right there, and they have very aggressive, also a contrasting spoiler, but a very round shape overall. That's also the first difference in design to the BMW Z4. And this color here for today, a very striking one, is called lightning yellow, and yes, really goes like lightning in the eye. Wow, what a delight to look at this pure sports car styling, so athletic. And the length is 4 meters 38, 14 foot 4 or 172 inches. That's 6 centimeters or 2 inches longer than the Z4. But that's just, you know, spoiler wise and so on. So there's no real difference. They both use the same platform. It's a cooperation between Toyota and BMW. Where BMW obviously had the bigger share, we'll soon see more of that one in the interior. Here we can see again contrasting colors here, for example at the A-pillar, also the side mirrors, which are matte cool styling, also with some small vortex generators. Comes standard with 19-inch wheels. That's also different. The Toyota Supra comes with a lot of standard equipment to, you know, you just buy it and that's it. Yeah, there's some small options available, but you can leave it like this. And we also have a super aggressive look here in the rear. Look how this, let's say, integrated spoiler rear hatch forms. I think it's a great idea instead of adding an additional wing right there. So that's a more elegant solution. And then strong diffuser in the lower part, also strong wheel exhaust pipes. So this is unmistakably a real sports car look. That's also what people look for when buying this car. Slim tail lamps. So yeah, this is really something. Very strong appearance, although the car is not too big. But I think it's a good example how you can make a compact sports car appear really aggressive. Whereas the BMW Z4 also offers a 4-cylinder. This one here, the very same 6-cylinder. They also have in the Z4 3-liter inline 6-cylinder, turbocharged, 340 horsepower, 8-speed ZF automatic transmission, and 4.3 seconds to 100 kilometers an hour or 62 miles an hour here. Toyota Supra entry badge. The steering wheel is just, let's say, a standard BMW steering wheel, not a sporty one. Looks a little bit old school, I have to say, also if you compare it to the Z4. Soft touch also at the top of the dashboard right there. Then the seats, those ones are the one you get as standard with Alcantara on the inside. Those ones should also be the one you should go for, just leave it like that. Sporty style and leatherette mainly on the outer part. On one sheet I've read that there also should be some genuine animal skin somewhere, but I'm not exactly sure if it's all leatherette. It's really hard to find out, but let's say mainly animal free, those seats, so it's good. Getting inside, of course, you have a low seating sports car, and that's also good. If you compare it to the BMW Z4, by the way, and I'm doing that quite a lot because it's interesting, and also, you know, they of course share the same platform. Those seats here are quite comfortable for sport seats. The ones in the Z4, however, a little bit more comfortable because they are a little bit more open. Those ones here, sport here oriented, they keep you tighter as for the side bolsters. Interior overview, again, very sporty, just you see it here again from this perspective, especially how small the windscreen is. Then 2x 8.8 screens. So here left 8.8, right 8.8. That's smaller than the option in the Z4. In the Z4 you can get 10.25 left and right, so that's bigger. Here they limit it a little bit more. BMW wanted to be a little bit more exclusive as for that, by the way. And here you can see this is not leant towards the driver. That's sometimes a little bit irritating. It's just very, very straight. Then here this lower knob, and turning and pressing knobs, so there you can still control the touchscreen, especially while driving. That's of course good. And also have the hotkeys to jump to the map. Does not flicker in real life, by the way, and also back to the main menu. Then also good still to have those manual climate unit controls, like that, to be able to control it very easily while driving. Also separate volume knob, and those are some hotkeys. You can also control whatever you want to put on there, maybe radio stations or whatever. Again, the steering wheel is good quality, everything. Cruise control on the left side, right side then for sound modes. You can also pick music here with the jog here in the, you can see it then in the digital instruments, pick up the phone and so on. And everything in horizontal way designed here, but good build quality. Lower part then with USB charger for your phone, or you can also get this inductive charging pad optionally. It's not inbuilt right there. Now some more details to that infotainment system. Here the map, really smooth control, also very responsive. Guides the way very well. It's of course the BMW infotainment system. And again, touch control, but also with the lower control knob if you like. So that's both possible. And there you see how the integration is. It's not for the whole screen. So the right part here stays empty, so to say. And then you can go to the main menus here and go back to the Toyota menu right there. You open the boot from the inside of the doors or here with the key. And then you can put open. It's 290 liters, which is not much. And if you compare it to the Z4, yeah, usually coupes have way more space than the convertible, but here this is really limited, especially here in the width. Of course, if you go in there, then you have more than a meter, like 1 meter and 10. But this one here, the upper part is less than a meter, and also the length here is less than a meter. Welcome to Thomas's Driving Lounge with the Toyota Supra. And yes, of course, it's about agile driving here today. So we start in some winding corners, give you some more of the agility of this car. This is the most important part of this driving review here for today. And then we'll head on to the German Autobahn, the motorway, to really floor this car out, see what this inline 6-cylinder, 340 horsepower, 500 Newton meters of torque can deliver with a 4.3 seconds acceleration figure to 100 kilometers or 62 miles an hour. And this car also has the launch control, so we can also test that, which is a little bit different as for the setting from the BMW. I'll soon tell you more about that. So first of all, when you drive this one here in the normal driving mode, and the engine is quite silent, doesn't scream too much. The steering is also quite light. There is no dead zone, so you do have a good control also in the low degree areas right here. It's just light, but that's good for parking in and out, for example. And then you can activate the sport mode with one button, so that's actually quite easy. Maybe even a little bit easier than with the BMW, where we have like this, front and back shifter. So here just one sports mode button, so I like that concept. And then the gears are turned up higher. The steering feedback is a little bit stiffer, and also the adaptive suspension reacts in a stiffer way. The general layout of this this adaptive suspension is, even in the normal mode, that's what I wanted to say, is stiffer than with the BMW Z4. So even in normal mode, stiffer than the Z4, and in the sports mode, even stiffer than. So definitely a sportier setup they put here with the Supra. And then also you hear a little bit more about this exhaust, but it's not really exaggerated that you think, whoa, I'm, destroying the whole neighborhood here. I think that's, they found a good mix, a good balance right here. More throttle input here, earlier shifting down, and then you can always use the shifting pedals at any time. Yeah, way to go, to shift down. And it's also possible to put this shifting lever here to the left side. In the BMW would call it in German manuelle Sportgasse, which would be something like manual sports lane, but lane in the meaning of the shifting lever, the direct translation. And then the gears stay where they are, you know. So otherwise they would shift up themselves at some point, but here they really stay where they are, and that's actually quite funny. It's nice to control those shifting pedals right there. That's always good. And you know, here on those countryside roads, this car really feels at home. So much fun. And as I said, even in the normal traction mode, where all the assistance systems are activated, this car is starting to get loose a little bit because it's so much power at the rear wheels. Active differential, rear differential there at the rear axle to give you a little bit more traction when going out of the corners. But definitely really aggressive vehicle. Not too aggressive, you can still very well control it. The balance, the handling is amazing, really love that. Steering could be a little bit less light, so to say, I would say, for a true sports car. But I mean, wow, so much fun here on those countryside roads, and wow, really, this is super, super cool. Yes, it's a little bit sportier than the Z4, more in a, you know, like when you say, like, what's the compromise and so on, do I have? Yeah, I can think. So, I think they have, the Z4 offers a little bit more comfort, definitely. So they're both very sporty, both have a great go-kart handling style. This one here, the main difference is that the suspension is stiffer than with the Z4. And engine, of course, the very same when it's a 6-cylinder, and with a 4-cylinder, yeah, the Z4 is lighter, you know, remember. The Z4 a little bit heavier because it's convertible than this one here with the 6-cylinder. This one here a little bit lighter, but then the 4-cylinder of the Z4 is lighter than this one, especially on the front axle right there. Definitely very interesting. So now we'll get on the motorway and see what about this, you know, real sporty handling. Put in normal shifting mode, but then here again back to the sports mode. Whoa. Oh, and then this F-Type behind us. Let's see. Yeah, he's already bullying us a little bit. Maybe he wants to challenge us. So we'll accelerate now from 60 kilometers up to, let's see. And that's 200 kilometers an hour or 125 miles per hour. And this F-Type is gone. And wow, I mean, I don't know if you could see that on camera, but I can tell you this car here is really aggressive. And now to the conclusion for today with the Toyota Supra. Well, exterior-wise, pretty dramatic, especially in this very color, but a lot of round shapes as well, but definitely true sports car from the exterior. Interior, I think it's good that they could profit from the BMW Corporation because it's very well organized and also clean and good build quality. So that's really also very well done. Of course, the BMW has a little bit, you know, more sophisticated options, if you like. So I think BMW really wanted to, you know, have a differentiation right there. But they also want to keep it here a little bit more reduced, sporty-like, and that's maybe also a good decision. Driving-wise, yes, both cars, Z4 and Toyota Supra, come somewhat close. That's no wonder, it's the same base car. Still, Toyota found a sportier setup. Not only that they do the coupe, which is a little bit lighter if you compare the very same 6-cylinder models, but also in the driving dynamics from the setup. So a stiffer suspension even in the normal setting here, and more aggressive as for the traction control. So this car is definitely getting more loose, even if you leave all the assistance systems, all the helpers in place. There are a lot of assistance systems already included, so good safety overall from the active safety, that's pretty cool. But again, you have to be careful, this is a true sports car, and with the BMW it's more like when you deactivate a lot of stuff, then it gets really aggressive. This one is aggressive from the get-go. Definitely a very fun ride, and of course, I mean, Z4 or this one, it's more the question of open top or closed top. That's the main differentiation. Please also tune into our Z4 reviews, both 4-cylinder and 6-cylinder, and tell us, which one would you actually go for? Which one do you like best? Thank you so much for watching, and tune in next time.